Okie dokie.
Dokily artichokilies. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
We're still on the table and not at it.
I know we said we'd be at it soon.
We discovered mold in the room we're renovating, so we got set back a couple weeks.
I mean,
house renovation.
Yeah, adult life is hard still.
The Pacific Northwest. Actually, this wasn't from rainwater. This was from, unfortunately, indoor sink water. Don't know what happened. Don't know when. Don't know how old it is. It's gotta be old because they painted the floors before they put the carpet on. So.
Oh, you gotta love previous homeowners.
I wish we could get like a Carfax for the home.
Yeah.
But unless it's permitted, like they got a permit for it, there's no history for it. We're back.
Better than ever.
That last video was a roller coaster.
We're sorry we put you through that, but not that sorry. We're gonna do it again.
No, well, hopefully not that drastic.
Hopefully.
Hopefully the project we start with
is the one we end with. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you guys were stressed and, worked up by that, but we were.
Yeah.
We were.
I feel like you could feel in the second check-in.
Just the brokenness of us.
How doomed it felt.
Yeah.
We hope it was at least entertaining.
You got some good stuff out of the end of it. I mean, that was some quality production.
Hopefully, next video will be in our actual space that we intend to be in and not this laundry room again.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Not that I have anything against sitting on tables.
I just have it. I'm against us being cramped.
I am against that too, and it's cold.
Well, it's going to continue to be cold because we're still going to be in the basement.
Yeah, but we're getting closer to summer.
So
I'll maybe just have to start wearing socks. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry to lead you guys on like that. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I am wearing shorts. It's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can see my funny tattoos. I needed this. This hurt. It did. It did hurt, yeah.
But got this really cute little dress out of the last video. Figuring out fun ways to style it. Let that last video be a lesson. Just do it. Just go for it.
Do it.
If it doesn't turn out right, it's still fine. You got clothes.
Yeah. Also, who's gonna notice?
Yeah,
if you are pointing it out, who's gonna notice?
Or like even if just style something over it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to
layers are your friend.
And you will only improve from there. That was my first time ever sewing with knit fabrics.
You can't learn if you don't make mistakes.
Yeah, and so this was the second one. As you can see, it turned out a lot better than the other one. I still wear the other one to work. I've worn it several times to work already. What? No? No. There's not a hole. This is the arm I learned on. I used the wrong stitch on the first one and learned for the second one. It was this sleeve where I learned that I was going wrong. So this sleeve and all of this is sewn correctly. This sleeve I decided to see what I could get away with.
See, and I didn't have to worry about that, as you guys saw. I don't make sleeves.
You didn't even make a garment.
I did not. Eventually, I will make a wearable piece of clothing.
Yeah.
Swear on it.
That's actually what we're doing in this video.
It is.
It's not like a garment, but like...
I suppose we should tell you about them.
Yeah.
I caught the buzz.
I don't know if you remember from our first video when we found these beautiful brown, like double layered blankets. So soft, so gorgeous.
They're so soft.
They're so nice. And then we already had this brown velvet. Someone keeps buying velvet curtains and donating them to our local Goodwill.
We love that person. Thank you. Please don't stop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, deranged behavior, but like to our benefit.
It is.
So
we have the exact same amount of these fabrics, of the velvet and the fluff.
Yep.
We have a rough outline of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea of what the other person is going to be doing to accomplish this.
We're making 3 items each. We're making leg warmers, we're making arm warmers, we're making hoods.
And then we'll both probably end up with a secret 4th thing.
Yeah, I mean,
you've met us.
Honestly. we both have the too much gene.
Yeah.
The don't know when to stop, the more is more gene.
And then you also have terrible liar can't keep her mouth shut gene over here, who we'll inevitably end up talking about it.
Yeah, we have D&D with friends between us getting together to sell. So you never know what we're going to tell each other then.
Yeah, I can't keep a secret to save my life.
I'm like, who else am I going to tell?
Yeah, literally.
It's either you or you.
If I tell you, will you make sure you don't tell her? Can you keep a secret?
Can you? I mean, you don't comment on any of our shit, so I think you're fine.
I feel like you're pretty trustworthy. Speaking of which, where are the comments?
Yeah.
Why haven't you commented? Are you ashamed of your comments? I'm ashamed at your lack of comments. Is this working?
Yeah. Tell us what's what.
Yeah. Have you commented yet?
Except secrets. Don't tell us secrets.
No, tell me all your secrets.
No, I meant don't tell me your secrets.
No, don't tell us each other's secrets.
Yeah.
If you tell Leon what I have said to you, I'll come through the camera and cry.
But yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be really fun. We aren't gonna know what the other one did until the end.
Although we have extraordinarily similar taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this may not be as big a surprise as we think it's gonna be.
So we will see, and you will see too. So come along with us for this journey.
It's gonna be a blast.
Let's get trashy.
Let's get trashy. I'm looking directly into your souls for this. Don't tell. Tell me your secrets though.
On a public YouTube comment section.
It's totally safe.
So Romaine just left, and I was digging through my supplies, all the little extra things that I have, and I came up with a couple of ideas for what to do. So here's the fabric. I was thinking for the leg warmers, I might do vertical stripes of each, maybe like 2 or 3 inches wide running down. And then for the gloves, I was thinking for lacing them up, I'm gonna get either silver or gold eyelets. Ignore this old dirty table. And then I would lace them up with either this like pink velvet ribbon I got. It was like Valentine's Day ribbon, and it was like 80 or 90% off when Joann's was going out of business. Ooh, sorry about that. Or I have like this glittery fabric I got from Goodwill when we went to the Ren Fair last year. And then for the hood, I'm trying to figure out whether to do lace or like a little clasp, and maybe put one of these cute little gems over it if it's a clasp. I got these. I was making stuffed animals, and my dad's was like this future. My dad's a big sci-fi nerd, so I made him like a future robot kind of one, and it had these on it, so I had those left over. So yeah, I also might just like wrap ribbon around the gloves as like an embellishment, kind of like a bondage type look, you know, to make them stand out. With the hood, I don't really know much. The plan is to make the inside of the hood the fluffy fabric and the outside the velvet, but we'll see. God, this velvet is so soft. But we'll see about that. I don't really have much of a plan for the hood yet, so that's probably what I'll do last. But yeah, those are my ideas to make mine different from Romaine. Okay, so first things first, I still had the ballpoint needle on the sewing machine from the last project, and I'd already cut out these pieces that were intended for the last project, and so I just quickly sewed them in order to like get the full use out of the needle before I was going to take it off and switch it back to the normal pointed needle for this project, because there will be no knit fabric anywhere for this project. Thank you very much. But I learned a lot during the last project, and I was able to get this done very quickly, and I love this shirt, and now I wear it all the time. Every time it comes out of the wash, I dry it, air dry it, and then immediately, as soon as it's dry, I wear it the next day, and it's right back in the wash, because I just enjoy it so much.
This is my favorite shirt you've made. This one is spectacular, and the sleeves that go with it, mind-blowing.
Yeah, very stoked.
Romaine.
Okay, so I'm cutting it like this. The idea is that I'm going to cut this, because this is about the height of my head. So I'm going to cut this into a big U shape and have a hood. Okay. I just measured it out, so this is perfect length. I'm gonna do it back about here and cut a big U. Okay, let's go.
So, change of plans. When I went to Walmart, I found these really cute buttons that are the exact same size as these buttons I already had from when Joann's went out of business. They're both really shiny and pretty. And then I was like, oh, I should do like a silver, black, and white thing. So I pulled out some black and white ribbon. We'll decide that later. And then I saw chains. And I was like, oh, chains would be cute. But I already had this and all these black safety pins. So I think I'm going to make chains and hang them off all the pieces. So I started by using this pattern piece from the cloak I made for my wedding, and then these vest pieces from a pattern that I got for free for leaving a review with the seller. This has two lengths, as you can see. There's option B that's kind of short and option A that's the longer one, and I did it completely on like what was going to fit on the fabric. And luckily for me, the long one fit on the fabric because that's what I wanted for my project. I wanted a nice long vest with a big fluffy hood. So here is the velvet looking all gorgeous and lush. And then I also cut out all the fur lining, and then these long strips are so that I could make a fur trim around the whole thing to give it even more length and volume. And trimming all this fur turned the floor into a disaster zone.
Mine also looked like this, and I almost didn't sweep it up.
Nah, Nosy would have dragged that everywhere in our house.
I let my cats play in it.
Oh, fair. Yeah, no. We do things the lazy way. And then I had all these scraps left over. And so I turned all of this into these two cute little patchwork pieces for the leg warmers and arm warmers.
Romaine.
I don't believe I've ever shown you the new machine. As you can see, $40 at Goodwill. Has all these stitches, buttons that I don't really know what they do, but she's beautiful. She's working pretty well so far.
So I measured this out, the elastic, by just wrapping it around my arm and cutting it where I thought it would work. So I stitched it on here with a zigzag stitch that I learned is good for stretchy things. And I also thought was necessary for fur. So you're gonna watch me use that for the entirety of the arm bands and the leg bands.
It's secure.
It is. That thing is not coming apart ever. I tried. In multiple clips here, you can see that I just run the needle off the edge of the fur. I couldn't figure out how to keep it going in the straight line because my machine pulls to the left. I thought only cars did that. I also kept jamming the needle thing with fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The machine does not like the fur.
It does not. Right here is where I just left a giant gaping hole and had to go back and fix it because I ran it off the fur. But it worked. Here, I truly have no idea what I'm sewing, but I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I think it's the hood. Not entirely certain. There's a fold back there.
Yeah, there is. I don't know, but I'm doing a great job.
The fold leads me to believe it's the hood.
Yeah, I do believe this is the hood. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, the moon shape, the shape of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the hood. I don't know if you can tell. I don't really know how to use my sewing machine.
So I cut the big fabric into two long strips, and then I sewed up the sides to make these cute little tubes. They're all nice and cute and patchworky. Unfortunately, they are not the length that I want, so I'm going to make a band. I was already planning on putting the elastic in the top, but I want like at least a couple more inches. So I'm gonna take the fur and make like a tube, put the elastic in it and put that on top, and then hem the bottom obviously. Then I took the smaller piece, it's looking like that, and I made these little arm ones, and I'm gonna take the bottom and I'm gonna do a rough lace of that with these cute little eyelets that I got. Then I'm gonna lace this all up with this cute little ribbon going up them. I think it's gonna be really adorable. Make the bands. I've got the elastic. I'm gonna put them in here. and roll that up to make the tops. This is how it turned out after I sewed them. I made this tube that I just had to put the elastic in, and then I left a nice strip for it to be attached to. So that didn't quite work. So instead I made these bigger ones. So I decided to do what people normally do, and I didn't make the dumb lip, and I made it much bigger for plenty of room to flip it around and not make a rabbit's paw again.
Yeah, more.
The idea is to make a shirt over the shoulder, under the boobs, off the shoulder. We'll see how it goes.
I got the fabric laid out on the floor, and so I started marking it. And I decided to mark the short side and the neckline first with my handy dandy white pen. This is a godsend if you don't have chalk. It shows up on everything. It's way easier to use than chalk. I'm not sponsored, but I should send me some pen jelly roll. But I just decided to use the fold to be the natural top end of the sleeve because I feel like that's what smart sewers do. But as you can see, I have a very mathematic system here.
So this, leave this open, and then when I put it on, find the spot to crimp it. Let's go. Okay. I hope you can see me. Off the shoulder. And here, I'm just gonna sew along the bottom, make it so that there's a big flowy sleeve, and then this is gonna get hemmed so that, and then I'm gonna put a little dart in there, make it tighter on the body. But yeah, I'll show you what it looks like.
So after that, I got to work making all the little embellishment chains. I pulled off a strip of this and just started cutting it into single and double rows made of 1 or 2 of the little rhinestones. And then I decided I was just going to use this whole strip for this length because I figured this is enough of the little strips. I actually have so many left over. So after I finished those, I got to making similar length chains out of all of these black safety pins. So I had finished 6 of the 8 chains that I had planned for the vest hood. Was running low, and I still wanted to save as many tiny ones as I could for the gloves. I was obviously running really low, so I went around the house and scrounged up every silver safety pin I could, because it's a silver and black look with the brown anyways. So I decided I was going to make some mixed chains for the last 2 chains for the vest, and then do like maybe some solid silver tiny chains for the gloves. Yeah, see how that turns out. After exhausting every safety pin I possibly could in the house, this is what I came up with. Plenty of piles for embellishing all 3 of the pieces. These little ones for the gloves specifically. Just lots and lots of cute little safety pin chains. I especially really like these like alternating silver and black ones. They're the ones I end up using the most. And so with that all accomplished, the last thing I had to do was make the ribbon for lacing them up. So I went with this same style I used for the boots I made for my wedding. This was like this marbly ribbon. I just ended up, you know, pulling it out and attaching these ends. I didn't want that same look for this, so I ended up, after this, I sewed them all and then attached these same little aglets on the end to get the effect that I wanted. And I'm pretty excited with how it came out. I think this is exactly what I wanted from the beginning when I mentioned the bondage, and I really liked how the laces came out. I think they were much better being sewn than just being thrown on there. Okay, it's the night before Romaine and I are supposed to get back together to show each other what we made. I am so tired. It's been a long week at work. It's the roughest week of the month at work. It just got done. It's Friday. I'm exhausted. I just woke up from a nap. I don't want to do this, but I'm so close, and we're revealing to each other and you guys tomorrow. I'm all done with the gloves. They got all their little embellishments, their little lace up, all of it. I'm super close to being done with the leg warmers. I like the big amount. All I gotta do is hem them. Then I'm done with those. Here's the other one. Much more symmetrical than the arm warmers, but still got that asymmetry thing going on. And then I'm almost done with the vest. Hood. I got this nice, long, beautiful, bulky thing. Basically, I've got trim on the sides. I just need to put the trim on the bottom. And then I need to top stitch all of the fur trim so that it stays together and flat and doesn't like flop around. And then the last thing I need to do after that is, this is really bulky, really shapeless, not really a fan. So I'm gonna do one of those like double darts, like the diamond shaped ones, and that will be the last thing I do. And then in the morning, Romaine and you guys are gonna see how this came together, and I see Romaine did, which I'm very excited for. I mentioned I'm tired, but I've got chai tea, I've got food cooking. If I gotta put in a late night, I gotta put in a late night. We will see. I just got new thread because I ran out of the last one. And yeah, I'm tired. Did I say that yet? Let's do this. This is what has become of the sewing area over the course of this project. Here is the old spool of brown thread that I had. I didn't have another one, so I had to order one because nowhere around, okay, goodbye. Nowhere around here has the thread that I need. You can't beat Gutermann. So I had to order online, and I got overwhelmed by all the colors. So I just bought like a pack with a brown in it. Look at those gorgeous colors. Gotta figure out a use for those. But yeah, so I gotta make a new spool. And first things first is hemming the leg warmers. I'm not gonna lie, they look a little dead. This is how the vest turned out. I really liked it this way, so I left it this way. I didn't think that the embellishments could really add anything to it. I tried a couple different ways and I just didn't like it. And then I also just didn't feel like doing the dart. For one, it just sounded too complicated through all these layers. And two, I didn't think it needed it after the top stitching. So yeah, this is my new beautiful vest.
These are my kids that I didn't expect to have at the beginning of this, which is why there aren't many videos of me doing the sewing at home. I had 7 and they all got parvo. So I did a lot of the sewing the morning of at Leon's house, which is just all the sewing you haven't seen. But it came together really good in the end, I feel. So if you're ready to see that.
Well, let's go. Let's get trashy.
I'm impressed with how we ended this. Even if we did have some ups and downs in the process, I really liked the way our outfits came out.
Yeah, I think it was also a really good learning experience.
It really was. I learned what a zigzag stitch is and how to use it.
Yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of techniques that went into this vest, and
I love that vest.
I learned that I can do really tedious tasks while I'm working, so gonna incorporate that into some future projects.
Heck yeah. I learned I can wing anything. Anything.
I also learned that we work a lot better together than apart.
Yeah.
I'm able to accomplish a lot more when you're there than when you're not.
I am too. And also it turns out I have no volume control when I'm at home alone. Didn't know that until this video.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably gonna do this again in the future. It was really fun to do a competition. We even have a few ideas coming off of this.
Oh, I've also got some stuff ready, but also I won't have 7 dogs with parvo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, this was amazing.
Yeah, I really love how they both came out. We actually managed to get 2 completely different things.
We did.
Like, this was just so much fun, and I feel like you can feel that so much more in this video than the last one because it was genuinely just like a really good time.
It really was.
Learning.
So, yeah.